Today's topic is Robin Hood and Little John. Robin Hood and Little John are legendary characters. Legendary means well known or famous. Before we start the story, let's talk about the writer. Robin Hood and Little John has been written by famous writer Howard Pyle. He was born in 1853 and died in 1911. He was an American illustrator, painter, and author. Best known for the children books he wrote and illustrated. Illustrator means a person who draws or paints pictures for books, etc. He wrote and illustrated the famous 1883 book The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. Robin Hood and Little John is an extract of that famous book. Howard Pyle is known as the father of American illustration. Robin Hood and Little John is a graphic story. Graphic story means a story told mainly through a sequence of pictures, usually supported by brief text such as dialogues and captions. Dear students, as you already know, Robin Hood and Little John has been taken from the famous novel The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle. Robin Hood and Little John is a fun story about bravery and friendship. One sunny day, Robin Hood walks into the woods and sees a big, strong man called Little John standing on a narrow bridge over a stream. They both want to cross first, so they fight with long sticks. Robin falls into the river with a splash, but he laughs. He likes Little John's power and asks him to join his group. They become good friends, and Little John joins Robin Hood's band to help the poor and fight injustice. Dear students, let's start the story. Robin Hood is a legendary hero who lived a long time ago, around the 14th century. He fought against the cruel Normans who took away his land. Normans mean people from Normandy. It's a region in France. They were cruel rulers. Robin Hood opposed them, so he was declared an outlaw. Outlaw means a person who is hunted by the law, who doesn't obey law. Robin Hood went to live in Sherwood Forest. Many people who had lost their homes joined him. Together they formed a group called the Merry Men. Robin Hood was the leader of this group. Next to Robin Hood was a Little John, his biggest helper. He was called Little John, ironically. That is opposite meaning, because he was actually very tall. On a bright sunny day, Robin Hood was moving through the forest in search of adventure. He came close to a river. So it was a sunny day, the sun was shining brightly, and Robin Hood started moving through the forest. He wanted to search for something exciting. He came close to a river. The river could only be crossed by a slender bridge. Robin Hood stopped suddenly. So Robin Hood reached near a river, and the river could only be crossed by a thin bridge. And there he stopped suddenly. He saw someone and he asked, "Who is this man? Let me pass." The man started laughing. "Ha ha ha! I have as good a right to the bridge as you. You can go back till I go across." So he didn't let him cross the bridge. Robin Hood became very angry and he said, "I'll show you how we deal with fellows like you. If you don't go back, I'll shoot you." The man replied, "If you do so, I'll thrash you with this pole. I'll beat you with this stick." Robin Hood was impressed with the courage of the stranger, but he had to cross the river. And he said, "Come on, let me pass. I could shoot you down even before you strike one blow." Robin Hood admires the stranger's bravery, but He had to cross the river. Robin Hood said to the stranger, "Don't even try to pick up your pole. I will shoot you before that." On this, the stranger said to Robin Hood, "You are a coward. You are not brave. You have a bow and arrow, but I have a stick to defend myself. I have just a stick to save myself." Robin Hood was not a coward. To show fairness and courage, Robin Hood puts down his bow and arrows on the river bank. Now both have only sticks to fight. Robin Hood said, "Now we are even. We shall fight on the bridge. The first one to fall into the river will lose." Now both the men are equal. Both have only sticks for fighting. The two men started fighting in the middle of the bridge, and both were good fighters and managed to give each other very strong blows. Stranger hit Robin Hood on the head, and he fell with a splash into the water. Splash means sound or movement made when something falls into water. The stranger became happy and started laughing and said, "I am the winner, but I will let you cross the bridge." On hearing this, Robin Hood said, "You are a brave man and a good fighter too. I don't want to quarrel with you anymore. Shall we be friends?" Then both the men shook hands and became friends. Robin Hood picked up a bugle and started blowing it. Bugle is a small trumpet like instrument used to make loud signals. At once, Robin Hood and Little John were surrounded by men who were carrying bows and arrows. When they saw a cut on Robin Hood's forehead, they became very angry. They tried to seize the stranger, but Robin Hood stopped them and he mentioned the whole story. He said that we had a fight, but it was a fair fight. He is a brave man and we are friends now. Little John also tried to beat the merryman, but Robin Hood said to him, "Forgive them, they will not harm you. Now they know you are my friend, and I am the leader of their group. I am Robin Hood. I am the man who helps the poor." When the stranger heard this, he said to Robin Hood, "I am Little John. I have come here to join you and your merry man." Robin Hood welcomed him to his group and introduced him to the group members. Will Studley and other men started laughing at his name. They thought it was funny because Little John is actually a very tall man. His name sounds opposite to how he really looks. He is huge, but his name is Little John. Later, they went to have dinner. Everyone was happy. Everyone had their dinner merrily. Robin Hood came to know that Little John was not just a good fighter, but he was a person who speaks in a smart, clever, and funny way. Robin Hood was happy to meet his new friend, and from that day, both became great friends.